Why take the tender ones? The tender years, the ones that can't bear. Where's the rain? When is it coming down? Down on me. I'm bound, I'm unhelped now. Please let me out. I'm bound now. Please let me hold myself. My friend, my sister, my love, we are bound together more than one. Please leave me, but don't touch. I can't hear there too much. I'm bound, I'm unhelped now. Please let me out. I'm bound, unhelped now. Please let me hold myself. The walls are dark, always wonders block me from what would I do if I could stay more than this? I'm bound, unhelped now. Please let me out. Bound, unhelped now. Please let me hold myself. Please help me. Please help me. I'm unhelped now. Hi, this is Laura Jean Finella, singer and songwriter, coming to you from Portland, Oregon. It is late Wednesday night. I turned off my fan and my filters in here, my purifiers in here in my living room, and I am recording for you in here. So I'm hoping you can hear me pretty well. I'm not using the fancy Audacity to do this audio recording, and I'm not in my bathroom. I just did something really cool, though, this week. I did an electronic version of my song Bound Unhelped, which is a human trafficking song. But what I tried to do was just put a lot of hip into it, so that way, since I can't really play instruments because of my injuries and things, and my hands really aren't that well, at least right now, I've been just in my mind kind of thinking about fancy nightclubs. Like Spain always comes to mind. They have some really cool nightclubs with all kinds of effects to their music. And last week I felt was kind of a dance song, more towards that way. And this week I really just kind of added some cool things onto Bound Unhelped, which was just this acoustic version, which I never liked the tracks that went with it, but I love the song. I love the way it was written. I loved my vocals in it, and I really loved just what the whole thing stood for. So I just went into GarageBand and threw some cool sound effects on there and it took down the acoustic sound a lot, and I'm really happy with it. I think it's neat. It certainly could be better, but I think it's well enough that you can go out and have fun with it, and play it at your parties, play it in your nightclubs if you want. Just play it wherever you want to play it. I just think it's a whole lot of fun, and what I'm really trying to do with that is just let expression pour out. When you're singing that song and dancing to it, and no matter where you're at, just if you want to, go along with the lyrics, please help me, please let me out. I'm bound unhelped, no matter what situation you're in. I mean, even though you might not be trapped, in a locked room, being human trafficked. I mean, the walls can still be dark and the halls can be long, and doors can block you in your mind from where you belong. And there's just so much to it. And I think it really helps for self-expression, period. It just lays things out on the table. Look at how many people, are being human trafficked, and they're going home to their families. And, it's human trafficking now really is just like going to the store, coming home, something happens along the way, and you go home and you go along with your normal day. You see the person that did it to you, possibly at work. He comes to dinner the next week, expects you to go out and do it again. Believe it or not, this exists. So, I mean, you might not be in a cellar, it could be happening that way, or the person that put you in the cellar, hopefully, nothing worse happens that, down the road where you perish. And if so, we pray for the angels in heaven. And, this is why really I have this kind of activist point to this situation, because I just think it's so sickening. And I know I looked at my Medium followers that just, kind of skyrocketed from the hundreds to almost 700. And I'm thinking, I don't really get that many reads. What really pulled people in to me over there? And I have this one photo it's absolutely sickening. And I had it at Pinterest when I had like about 50,000 views a month. And then I got kind of shut down over there, and I didn't fight enough to get it opened up again. It was during the presidential elections, and I must have been putting too much focus for them on the fact that I was, really focusing on sexual abuse. I think a lot of us have felt it, if not in our lives, around us, and we're just really disgusted and sick of it. So the one photo that I got online, I had taken it down when I just got my new Pinterest, or the old Pinterest opened up again, and I saw that, and then I said, let me just kind of curb this a little bit, because I think it said I broke some restrictions or something. And I had the same thing happen over at LinkedIn, and I just got really tired of the whole thing. So I just kind of stayed away from it, because when I went back to it, it really wasn't picking up where I left off of with the numbers, and I was discouraged. But when they opened it up for me again recently, it kind of picked up back to where it was. But going back to Medium, I had that same photo in there, and I thought, oh, what did I do now? And I said, okay, let's just, people obviously interested in this, and this is what I want. I want people to be interested in what I'm saying about, the sexual abuse problem that we have. And I went in and I saw it, and it was, one of those bad days I had where I'm just going to go off, because, I mean, if you hit me the wrong way, I'm going to go off, and I'm going to use my intelligence. I'm going to put it in really, smart butt words, I suppose somebody could call it. But, really, all in all, I mean, I really truthfully am saying something that I really feel. It's just, if you tick me off enough, I'm going to go in the direction. I'm just going to, put it out there and let people see how I feel, and just say, not only should you have not, addressed me, in this form of fashion, but, now it's all laid out, what this is. And, you really have me ticked off. And I get ticked off a lot with sexual abuse, because I don't like when it's run across me, and it's, in any way, shape, or form, and it just pisses me off daily. And so that's really, I think people just keep piling up over there. I don't know if they're waiting for me to do something else toward that again. I really try to be careful what I come out and say, because I'm always riding on these lines of, restrictions when I come out and I put things out there and I get on a roll. And I just, sometimes I'll be being aggravated or irritated, and I will just, keep coming back and fighting back and fighting back. And so, I just took a breath and I said, okay, I'm not going to let this get to me. You get older and you say, okay, I've learned a lot more. I'll stop and, get more training or education on something, or education, worldly education, just being in a different realm sometimes. And I take that in and I try to find a different way to voice where I'm at and what I want to get out there. So I'm kind of at that, but I'm still picking up on this song that I really think is a very positive movement, because I really truly like the book I have up at my LoriInTheKitchen.blogspot.com, where I know my Amazon account I've mentioned is a mess over there, but I do have 2 links over there to books that I'm proud of, and one is one that my son took photos of. It's the Survivors of Abuse poetry book that I wrote when I was at my worst. So whatever I said, I can't re-say it. I had horrible head traumas and stuff and everything. So, my story goes on for years if you follow me, but in a nutshell, that's what that book is. And then the other one is for kids, where once again, I was in a rare form, and I was able to really relate to children who can't speak out. Well, this is kind of the same thing, where I'm really trying to give, I think of the younger kids out there, because I know they have nightclubs you can go in if you're under 21, as long as you're not drinking, or perhaps what I always thought would be good to have, places where kids could go to enjoy themselves, where there doesn't have to be drinking, but it's just for them. And of course, music is just such a wonderful part of celebration. And so I just picture the kids up there just singing these words. But once you get these words into you, it becomes so easy to get so wrapped up in them. And let them come around, and let them come around yourself and help you just say where you're at in that particular song, where you're at, and you're identifying with it. And if something is upsetting, that it comes out in a way that is just second nature, and we all share information like that. So we're not having these horrible circumstances of, we have to shush because this person is authoritarian. We have to shush because there's so many people involved that just have so much of a reputation. Well, they have no reputation if they're involved, okay? It is just covered up for them because it's a greedy means of support that people are taking and getting. And so there's no reputation there. So don't think that this person is better than you, is good at in any way. Okay, they're just getting away with something. And even if it's, that one person and other people dealing with them, and they don't 100% know, or they don't know at all, and they know just a little bit, a lot of people let things slide. No matter what it is, the relationship to this, dirty person, they're still not reputable, and it's very, very scary to come out and talk about things. And I really think if we all stick together and, hold each other's hands to this and become strong and be the good people to this, that we don't have to have so much of this going on. We don't have to have the shame and the fear to something so absolutely disgusting and so commonly done every single day in our lives. And I just won't stand for it. I am just sickened to death by it. And I see it every day in my life because I know exactly what's going on. I know how it's done. I know where it's come from because I've been a potential victim, and I've had enough done to have that horrible, horrible, sickening, frightening feeling and enough injury so that you can't express yourself enough. And so, I have all those identifications to, what people go through when they're in these horrible, horrible circumstances. So I understand basically. So I'm just trying to get it so this is all out on the table and we're all discussing it. And sadly enough, if it's in your home, um, then go to your school, which I didn't have my home, I didn't have my school, I didn't have my friends, I didn't have boyfriends I could go to. So I completely understand. But even in all that, when I look back, I think of one or two people in there that I could have reached out to. And if you can't go to your particular guidance counselor, go to a different guidance counselor within that school. Go to a different guidance counselor outside of the school if there's no one in school you can trust. Just try to find some other person to go to. I so understand what it's like to have absolutely not one single person in your immediate life that you can go to, because sometimes you look so cute that you're going to be closed off by anybody that can help you. And it doesn't necessarily have to be every single person in your immediate life is like completely connected to this thing. I mean, they can be connected enough that they've been taught to turn off to you. You could have been set up enough to be like a liar or a brat or those naughty words that you're called. So, don't let that suck you in. The best thing you can do is, first of all, move on from that life. And if there's any way to, connect to it in a healthy way down the road, then fine. But you've got to find your health outside of that. And if not, like I said, try to find some kind of guidance counselor or somebody you can trust. I know what it's like to go to the authorities and be completely shut down and looked at like you're a criminal, and even be sent to worse places that you don't want to go to. And I can imagine that there have been other people that have gone because they've been younger and they didn't know. But I mean, I was so past that. I looked so much younger. I think that was their mistake with me. I seemed so much more hurt. That was their mistake with me. And so now I have so much knowledge that I can share, and I'm just bursting with it. So anyhow, I have made a huge speech out of this week's podcast. So I just really hope I've given back, and I know deep in my heart, I feel really good about it. I feel good about what I'm giving you this week. So I will just spread the song all around. I'm sorry I can't do things better for you as far as recording and getting things like completely, crossed, the T's on everything. But I'm just proud that I'm getting it out the best I can and doing the best I can. So, that's all you can do. I'm sorry, I'm in the city. There's noise outside. That's all you can do. So stay safe, stay blessed. Lori Jean Finella, singer-songwriter.